Okay, dear Dhamma friends, we have come to the last question and answer session of this February retreat. So we'll start with the written questions.
We have 4 questions altogether, Bhante, today.
Yeah.
Venerable Bhante, thank you for enlightening me on meditation. Your 2 sermons were very informative. Please let us know whether they were recorded. If so, how can we obtain copies, or will they come on YouTube?
Not yet on YouTube, but may be available in our Nissarana website, www.nissarana.lk. So that will be available there. Dhamsara also it may be available. Yeah.
Venerable Swamin Wahansa, thank you so much for your illuminating sermons over the past couple of days. I would like to ask a Dhamma question related to the talk you gave yesterday. Would be grateful if you could re-explain the concept of skandhas arising in any object, using the comparison of a cup of tea. For example, if the tea was extremely hot, a Vedana skandha is the one that is most prominent, etc. As a follow-up question, you mentioned that at any given time there are all 5 skandhas present in any object, in this case the cup of tea. Thus, does this mean that which skandha becomes prominent is dependent on us, the viewer or the perceiver? So there are 5 possibilities, forms for that object to take. Accordingly, does it follow that if 5 different people view the same object, there are 25 different versions, forms that the object can take? Is this why we say therefore in Buddhism that there is no object? At one of my earliest, very first retreats, a Venerable Swamin Wahanse explained that when you are gazing at a flowing river, your mind becomes the river, or the river is actually your consciousness, stroke mind. Does this follow the same concept as above? If not, could you kindly elaborate on this? Thank you, Venerable Bhante, and may you attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana.
You too. So basically, if I were to say this, cup of tea has all 5 khandhas, that is wrong. That is not the point. So actually, typically all 5 khandhas are present in a living being. So a living being, as per Buddha's teaching, can be analyzed in different ways. One way is using the khandhas. Another way is using the ayatanas, what you call the sense bases. Another way is using the elements. So likewise, different analogies Buddha has given. So typically we think that this is I am so and so, I am a man, I am a woman. So likewise we have different our own conceptual ideas about ourselves. So as per Buddha's teaching, so we can use his analysis to recognize all different aspects of each individual. So as per his information, Buddha's teaching, so whoever a person, a so-called person is nothing but, say, 5 khandhas or nothing but 6 elements. So as we discussed last time or some time ago about the Dhatu Vibhanga Sutta, so there Buddha says, okay, this so-called person is 6 elements and so-called person is 6 sense bases. And similarly he says so-called person is 5 khandhas. So say for example, say we'll take the same example. Suppose someone is drinking a tea. So at that time suppose the tea is very tasty. So at that time if you are analyzing through the khandhas, say at that time there is a taste available and the tongue is the most prominent faculty, and all those belong to the rupa, the material side. And then suppose it's now the person is getting a say tasty feeling, that may be a happy feeling if he likes it, and then that happy feeling belongs to the feeling khandha or the vedana khandha. And then suppose he is having a kind of a perception, now it is very say taste tea, and he's suppose his eyes are closed, now he's in a very good mood to taste it, so he's having a kind of a perception about the tea. And then say he's having some greed about the tea, and he wants to get another sip, he wants to have another tea. So likewise the greed arises, say for example, for the sake of explanation. So I mean, while drinking a tea, it is not that typically the mind is empty, rather typically mind is going through various thoughts. So it may be a pleasurable thought, so kind of something related to the tea or something. So likewise there are certain thoughts available, so we can consider them as a sankhara, so the sankhara khandha. And again the consciousness actually have so say if we are in a greedy mind, so we can have a kind of a greedy mind, say lobha kind of consciousness, and these are kind of simple explanations. So if you can't think that the same lobha or greedy consciousness available throughout, rather there are many levels of consciousness available. Say for example, when you are feeling the hot, the temperature, so it may be the body consciousness which is prominent. And say when you are feeling the taste, that may be the tongue consciousness prominent. And suppose now we are going through some thinking as per the information, okay, someone has prepared, now we are appreciating all this something, then the mind consciousness is prominent. So likewise is a kind of series of consciousness are available. Similarly the materiality, there also it is not that continuously you have the same rupa, but there are so many series of rupas are there, so many series of feelings are there, series of perceptions, series of sankharas. So likewise, so every experience therefore we can analyze based on 5 khandhas. So if you put it in a different angle, say if you are analyzing using the 6 sense bases, so at this time, say when you are experiencing the temperature, not yet the taste, so at that time the body sensation, rather body sense base, and the here the again the external rupa ayatana, and then when you feel in the taste, and again the taste of the tea, that is the taste come as the rasa ayatana, and then the feeling type happens at the tongue, so that is the jivha ayatana, tongue as a base sense base. And then suppose now we are going through some kind of thinking based on the experience, so then the mental objects, and again the manayatana. So likewise you can analyze this whole experience using sense bases as well. If you get 6 elements, say this at the beginning, suppose when you are feeling the temperature, it may be the heat element, that is the tejo dhatu. And again when you are feeling the say taste, it may be the liquid, that is the the apo dhatu. And again suppose you are now going through some thinking, then again the consciousness element, vijnana dhatu. So likewise you can analyze any experience based on different ways, either using khandhas, either using sense bases, or 6 elements, sometimes you call as 18 elements. So likewise different ways Buddha has given analysis. So this way help us to understand what is really going on, because what happens typically is we have something conceptual build up based on this experience. Say some preliminary experience is available, on top of that we are building so many concepts, and ultimately we are lost in the concept and totally thinking more on conceptual side. So that is what happens. Ultimately we forget why we have put all these words, why we have put all these sentences, what is the experience, and all these things are gone. Now we are entirely in a conceptual world, conventional world. So we lost in the conventional world. So vipassana actually help us to come back to the very primordial level, very basic level, direct experience level, so that you are directly connecting back to the experience. No proliferation may be involved, no concepts may be involved, but you can directly connect with the real experience. So that is why we are trying to simplify the experience rather than building upon anything on top of it. So we are trying to simplify the experience and coming back to the very basic. So that is the term paramatta is typically used where there is no any fabrication happen yet. There is no any artification, any addition, multiplication, no preparation happen yet, but they are at the very pure level. So that is, say for example, when you are doing a walking meditation, so your foot is feeling roughness of the ground, and you can directly feel it. You don't need to name it, you don't need to call anything, and you don't need a book to recognize it. You don't need someone else to come and pinpoint you, that is the roughness. You yourself can feel it. So that is where we are trying to go, where the direct experience is so much available, and we are now trying to connect with that. So what is the next section?
At one of my earliest retreats, a Venerable Swamin Wahanse explained that when you are gazing at a flowing river, your mind becomes the river, or the river is actually your consciousness stroke mind. Does this follow the same concept as above? If not, would you kindly elaborate?
Okay, suppose we are gazing at a river. Now you have some visible object, and so visible object is available. We can analyze that experience also using 5 khandhas. Say you are seeing something, and the external vision, but the visible object belongs to the rupa, and similarly the eye also belongs to the rupa. I mean the eye. Eye also belongs to the rupa. And then suppose you are feeling neutral, I mean you are simply observing the river and you are in a neutral feeling, so that belongs to the feeling khandha, vedana khandha, and you have a perception, it is a river, so that is the perception or the sanya khandha. And assume that you have a kind of thoughts may be coming on, you are having some poem coming to your mind about the experience. So then the sankhara, you are analyzing it, you do some fabrication there, so the sankharas are there, and the knowing, the consciousness is also there. So therefore we can say this seeing a river also we can analyze based on the 5 khandhas. And as I said last time, now related to the drinking of tea, so even though we take it as a one incident, it consists of series of 5 khandhas. At a given instant, 5 khandha. At another given instant, another 5 khandha. At another given instant, another 5 khandha. Likewise, all the khandhas are arising and passing away. So at a given moment, say for the sake of easy understanding, say we have certain rupas, certain vedana, certain perception, certain sankharas, certain consciousness. At the next moment, all gone. And entirely new group is available at the next moment. Then the third moment, the previous ones are all gone, and new khandhas are available on the next moment. So likewise, these khandhas are constantly arising and passing away. So it is quite difficult to understand the mental side, say the vedana, perception, sankhara and the consciousness immediately. That's why a yogi is asked to experience the rupa khandha first, the materiality side first. That is less deluding. Say for example, anapanasati related to the rupa khandha. That is called rupa kammatthana, where you have some elements available, some materiality related something is available, and now you feel it. Say rising and falling similarly belong to the rupa khandha. So you are feeling it, you are trying to experience that. So likewise, many entry-level kammatthana, entry-level all meditative objects starts with typically with the rupakkhanda. That is where the kayanupassana relates. So therefore, if you consider the same way about seeing a river, so at a given moment what you see, at that time the river, that also belongs to rupakkhanda, at the next moment it is no more, it's gone. If you are thinking that the water has flown, what available at that place has gone to some other place, that's another way of telling it, but it's not that is not the correct thing. What was available there also has disappeared. A new one has come there also. So, I mean, this is very constant, very rapid change happens, constantly arising and passing away, and we think, okay, typically that is the way we think, okay, so some people say, okay, when you are putting your hand to water, so it is not the same hand you are putting after 1 minute. Okay, it is not the same water flowing after 1 minute. You can say in different ways. You can think, okay, the water available at 1 minute ago, now available after another place. So then you are thinking about the same water available at another place now, only the position has changed. But that is not the case. So whatever the rupa available at that time all arised and passed away, the new series has arisen now. So to that level it is impermanent. It's extremely impermanent. So that's why so we can say it's a kind of a continuous flow is available. It is called santati ghana. So santati ghana is where, since it's happening very rapidly as a series, so you consider it as a continuation. So I exist, I am there, the same river. So likewise, some permanency is available. So kind of a permanent notion comes because of this rapidity, because of this continuity. So it is called santati ghana. So something is there, then next moment also some similar thing is available, some similar thing available. So likewise the continuity is there, so that gives us some kind of a notion of permanence, but it is not permanent. So that's why when you are concentrated, well concentrated and observing even these two consecutive in-breaths, there you break this continuity. There you understand it is not the same breath. It is not the same, say, two in-breaths are not exactly 100% similar. So likewise, even the single in-breath, it is not a continuous flow, but rather a series of breaths may be available. Very slight, different, say, hundreds of smaller in-breaths are available. So accumulation of in-breaths. So likewise, that santati ghana will breaks. Then everything becomes like a collection. So this is the way I think we have to put it into the correct perspective. Yeah.
Venerable Swamin Wahansa, I am at the start of incorporating meditation into a daily routine. I have a few questions. 1. I have a habit of chanting Pirit every morning. Would that count as meditation? If so, which kind? Number 2.
Yeah, one moment. Can't go in a rush. So I think if you are going through chanting Pirit, so if you are with the words and the understanding of it, then you can consider it as a Dhammanussati. Not Dhammanupassana, but Dhammanussati, where you are reflecting about Dhamma. Say you are chanting Ratana Sutta, and you are reflecting Buddha's qualities, Dhamma's qualities, Sangha's qualities, then you have a collection, okay, Buddhanussati, Dhammanussati, Sanghanussati. Say you are chanting Metta, say Karaniya Metta Sutta, probably you might be having some kind of a Metta Bhavana, loving kindness. Say you are reflecting some other, what else? Mangala Sutta. Okay, Mangala Sutta. So maybe you are reflecting about certain phenomena. So maybe related to Dhamma. So Dhammanusati. So thinking about Dhamma, reciting about Dhamma gives us some understanding about the Dhamma. It comes under Dhammanusati. Yeah.
When you have, number 2 question, when you have suffered a terrible loss of someone you love, how do you use meditation to overcome it? Theruvan Saranai.
I think better you prepare yourself before the loss happen. Prevention is better than cure. So you can't do big thing after things have happened, because incident has happened and you are in a really terrible position. So before things have happened, if you are well prepared, then you can cope up with the situation. You can bear it. So that is the best way of doing it. So that's why we have to meditate when everything is well. Nothing has gone wrong. Everything is happening smoothly, but still meditating, still understanding how things are impermanent, how things are unsatisfactory, how you are not getting any permanent happiness, how things are uncontrollable. So this is that kind of a wisdom developing. So this kind of prepared mind, such mind is quite capable, can withstand anything. And even you feel little shock, you can fairly easily or within a short time you can come back. So that is called resilience. So resilience increases with mindfulness. So as your mindfulness develop, this resilience develops. So this is what actually most important in this kind of a situation, kind of a tragic situation, kind of a calamity, where something goes wrong and you can't recover, or someone you loved has passed away, but still you can bear it. Still you see the nature. Still before it has happened, you understood it may happen. So actually there's a very beautiful saying by Ajahn Chah. He says when suppose this is a glass, and he says, when I am taking this glass, I already see the broken glass. Not yet broken, by the way. Not yet broken, but still he sees the broken glass. So that is the attitude he has. So see how prepared the mind is. So that is the approach we have to take. So we can't meditate when everything goes wrong. That you can try actually. Definitely you have to try. If you couldn't prepare yourself, that's another way of doing it. But the best way is when things are all going well, you have to meditate and prepare yourself. And you never know something when things go wrong, because it's an entirely transient world that we are living in. Very fragile, very vulnerable world we are living in. And suppose you are not prepared and everything goes wrong, and now suffering going on, you are going in a real suffering. And Buddha says 2 approaches are available for suffering. For a person who is really going through suffering, Buddha says 2 approaches are available. Typically people are taking 2 approaches. That's a proper way of telling. One approach is finding a solution, finding a way out. Another approach is going for depression. So basically, going on, and he couldn't find a solution. Another approach is seeking for a solution. That is a search actually. Because of suffering, one starts to search. Is there a way out? It's a kind of an eye-opening. Because otherwise people start crying and all coma and all these things. Suppose a real tragic thing happen. I myself have seen some people, actually simple incident I can remember, during that the Hivala bomb blast long time ago. And at that time one of my friends' sister passed away, and their mother really suffered, and a very innocent woman. And we went to the funeral also, and very nice, she's a beautiful young age girl, and she's, this woman, the mother can't even cry. Now they are going through the, what's that, burying, what's called, pit, and she's so exhausted, can't even cry, and ultimately get into a coma. And passed away after 6 months or something. So likewise, when you are not prepared, you can't bear these things. So you don't know what will happen. So life is extremely vulnerable, extremely transient. So you can't have any assurance. There are so many assurances are available today. Union assurance. But none of them can assure your life. None of them can assure your life. So they are all jokes actually. So they can simply give you some money, but money can't help at all. So therefore we have to prepare ourselves for the life. Then it is not that a meditator may not come across all the difficulties. He may come across all the difficulties, but he has the capacity to bear them. That's the difference. Yes, yeah.
Venerable Swamin Wahansa, can you please give me your valuable advice on following? I was diagnosed by a doctor that I am suffering from depression. What kind of solution can I seek to overcome it by following Dhamma?
I think if you can stop too much thinking, I think that is one best solution. So try to avoid just being alone and thinking. So that leads to further depression. So if you have some good friends, you can associate them. Good friends, they have to encourage you, they have to protect you, they have to be with you, give some helping hand, take care about you. So they have to be true friends, so you can be with them. Another thing is, without immediately going for any sitting meditation, you can go for walking meditation. So walking also you shouldn't take very seriously as a big burden. Rather you simply walk for the sake of walking. Best is for a natural environment. You go in a fairly long path, doesn't matter, simply looking around and enjoying the sceneries and all these things, just putting away all the stress and the pent-up energy and all these things. And then slowly, if when the mind becomes little calm, little less burdened, then you can try to see whether you can connect with the feeling. Now you have a direct feeling available at your foot, and you can slowly try whether you can connect with that. So this way you are now even letting go the past. That may be the major cause for depression, because something has happened. Now you are thinking again and again about it, and that could be a major distraction that is pressing you too much. And sometimes people are very sensitive, and when you are thinking again and again, you feel really bad about yourself. Maybe you are sort of suffering a lot, you are accusing yourself, so many things may be there. So, but if you are able to let go that past and come back to this simple present moment, 100%, so slowly mind will, at least time to time, mind will give up those hard feelings, those depressive feelings, and you may have some momentary lightness. And again you have to do it, then there are many feelings of lightness. So you have to make it abundant. More and more you feel in the present moment, more and more you are connected with this very simple present moment experience, then the mind will simply let go that past burden. So this way you can again somewhat make your mind, heal your mind. Similarly, suppose if depression is due to some future something, again the similar approach you can take. And another thing is to have a good sleep, if you can't have a good sleep, because sleeping is a must. For typically even I know certain from few psychiatrists, their medication also involves some medicine to keep the calm about the patient, mind calm about the patient. So particularly let them sleep well, go into a long sleep. So that sleeping also helps a lot, because mind heals, mind calms down when you are going through a good sleep. So I think these are the things that I can do as an immediate thing. But on the other hand, I mean, if you can read little Dhamma and say you are preparing yourself, you understand things are not permanent, things may not happen as you like, there are things go wrong, and there are things are not under your control, and there are many causes causing for something to happen, and those causes are not under your control, so things are very vulnerable. So likewise, you are getting some more understanding about the situation, then you get some maturity. So wisdom is helping you to give up the situation, to recover yourself. So that way also quite important, because then you are preparing the mind. So you are preparing the mind to accept what is going on. So basically, say for example, some relative has passed away. So why you become depressed is you are not accepting the thing. So you are always rejecting why it happened. It can't be like that. So likewise, you are always rejecting the experience. But it has happened. It is not only to you, it has happened. 2600 years ago, it's happened to Patachara. How many Patacharas have happened after that? So many Patacharas. We only one record of Patachara, but how many Patacharas were available? All these generations. Only one fact is known. So likewise, I mean, that's why, I mean, if you know the life is suffering, life is always very vulnerable, we never know what's going wrong. So then we are having some samvega, urgency to practice. So if you think everything is going well and whatever wish come true, so my life is like a rose bed, so why suffer meditating? But that's why Buddha is telling, when someone is suffering, then eye-opening. So what is the way of going out? What's the way out of suffering? So one starts to search for a permanent solution. Now that's an eye-opening. So there are many cases, because of suffering they have turned to Dhamma. So that is one way of putting at it. Yes. Yeah. So that's all the written questions. So if you have any verbal questions, so you can continue.
Venerable Sir, this is just as a continuation of what you just said. Thought that crossed my mind. Would metta also help to overcome depression?
If possible, yes. I mean, most of the meditation objects may help, except that asubha. Asubha is little again going to the negative. But say Buddha Anusati, Metta, Dhamma Anusati, any kind of meditation giving you positive, happy feeling. So when you are reflecting about the Buddha, the qualities of the Buddha, your mind become happy. Say when you are thinking about, say, Metta, for example, so you are pervading Metta, and then that's also mind becomes happy. So similarly, say if you are good, have at least some understanding about the Dhamma, you are reciting some beautiful suttas and likewise, so that also giving some positive energy within you. So therefore we can say yes. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Since we have time,
Yes.
Kindly can you please explain us again about Dhammanupassana a little bit?
Dhammanupassana.
Yeah.
So Dhammanupassana, that's why in the Satipatthana Sutta, Dhammanupassana is a broad subject where Buddha is taking 5 subjects. So related to the Nissarana, then related to the Bojjhanga, then related to the Khandhas, then related to the sense bases, and ultimately about the noble truths. So 5 groups are there. So first of all, if we consider the Nivaranas, so basically in Chittanupassana, if you can go back and reflect, say we are at a stage where we simply recognize, okay, lustful thought is available. okay, angry thought is available. So only when it is available we know that, because mindfulness is not yet sharp. So it has come to some level, some degree, and then we know, okay, the mind is lustful now. So, okay, now the mind is angry. So likewise, we are not yet sensitive enough. So more and more we practice, our sensitivity increases. So as a result, you are maintaining some kind of an equanimous mind. Mostly, if possible, that what we discuss as the pure awareness, that is the anisita state, where your mind does not associate anything, has its own freedom. So that's the best way of keeping your mind. At that time, now since you are familiar with that state, when say angry thought arising, at the very initiating state, you aware of it. So there, Dhammanupassana section, Buddha says, Anuppannasa kamachandasa uppado hoti tancha pajanasi. Then there was no kamachanda, there was no sense desire available. Now sense desire is arising. Now you are even seeing the arising part of sense desire. Because your mind was resting free from sense desire. It was in a very calm, peaceful state. Now sense desire is arising. Now you are aware of that. And then you are aware of now it is available, and you are not promoting it, not nurturing it, and now you are seeing it is passing away. Uppannassa kamachandas pahino hoti tancha pajanati. So Buddha is telling in Dhammanupassana, Nivarana Pabbha, where a recent sense desire now passing away. Now you are looking at it. Now it has passed away. So you are returning back to this peace. So that is where the mind clarity improves, sensitivity improves, mindfulness improved. So all these things are now giving more facility to look at all these defilements at their very initial stage. Yeah, and then we are not promoting them, and they are not much bothering us, and we can look at them objectively, and they are passing away. And then if you look at Bojjhangas, for example, so sometimes you feel, okay, mindfulness is available. So sometimes, some days, okay, good mindfulness. Some days not yet good. Some in the morning you have good mindfulness, on the evening not enough mindfulness. So likewise you understand they are all little up and down. So you are not much bothered, but you feel them. Sometimes, yes, internally you feel, okay, now I have good mindfulness, but I am today little forgetful sometimes. Okay, mind is not working very sharp today. So we feel that. So okay, sometimes the wisdom is working well, but sometimes behaving like an idiot. What to do? So automatically idiots. Switching the mode. So likewise you recognize even these good qualities are sometimes changing. It's still not constant. And again, if you go to khandhas, that's another way of looking at things. So you see, I mean, if you are going through certain feelings, so you can observe that the feeling arising and passing away. Then you are seeing the feeling aggregate. Suppose you are feeling some sensation or kind of roughness, softness, any of these kind of element characteristics, again in the rupa khandha, how they are changing. So that's again in the khandhas level. So likewise you can see all these things arising and passing away. Different ways you can look at. It is not that we all need to do all the things, rather the same experience as the very first question today. So we see that when we are drinking tea, you can analyze that in different ways. So Buddha has given us different ways there in Dhammanupassana. Either you analyze through the khandhas, or either you analyze through the ayatanas, sense bases. So ayatanas are also there. So there Buddha has given even the defilement associated to that incident. For example, say you are watching something, say you are watching a movie. Now the visible object is there, the rupa ayatana, external object. Similarly, the eye is there, chakka ayatana. And as a result of this combination, there's a desire arising. So you can feel that also. You can understand even that desire. So likewise, when sense impingement happen to different senses, if there is a resultant defilement available happening, then you can be aware of that. So that is mentioned in the ayatana pabbha in Dhammanupassana. Rupayatana, then the Chakkayatana, as well as the what is called the Sangyojana, the fetter associated with that experience. It is not that every time we may go through the fetter, if available, you can be aware of it. And the cream of Dhammanupassana is the Four Noble Truths. So where you are sort of taking your experience or your attention to yourself and seeing whether even the slightest tension is available, even the slightest stress is available, even the slightest discontentment is available. So then you are in a very sort of coming back to yourself and softly, gently sort of checking the mind, softly, gently checking the body to recognize whether there is any kind of unhappiness available, any kind of suffering or any kind of unsatisfactoriness, little discomfort, uneasiness is available. And then finding out the cause, that is the dukkha samudaya, and then letting go of the cause and coming back to the very neutral, unattached, friction-free state of mind. So more and more maintaining the mind in a friction-free state. So that is the place that we have to maintain the mind. Anissitocha viharati rachakinchi loke upadhyati. So that is the statement Buddha constantly telling us. So keep the mind unassociated. Keep the mind free from defilements. If mind habitually go and grasp, okay, rescue it. So save it from that grasping. So don't let it be with this grasp. Come back to yourself and return back to this emptiness. Return back to this unattached state of mind, which is the most comfortable state of mind. It is not only Buddha is telling this, now even the science is telling this. I recently has Rick Hansen. Rick Hansen is one of the scientists. He's a psychiatrist, US citizen, and he has his own bulletin called Wise Brain, and he has published a book called Buddha's Brain, I think. Buddha's Brain, yeah. So there he has mentioned the most healthy state of mind, even the body maybe, is this kind of a very neutral, unattached, undefiled, sort of unentangled. So all the terms actually what we are talking. Unassociated, less burdens, all these things are making a kind of very healthy brain. So it is not that we sometimes think we have to be very joyful, laughing, and that is the state. That's going to another extreme. The science does not tell that is the point to stay. Science also now tell, okay, this is a kind of a very equilibrium state that you have to maintain. So that is the most healthiest place to stay. So Buddha has told that 2600 years ago. Anissitocha viharati. How long he has gone to that? And then different ways he has mentioned. Anissitocha viharati nachakinchi loke upadhyati. This is one way of telling it. There's sometimes called Anissito anupadano sato bhikkhu paribbaje. Sometimes Buddha says, okay, without associating anything, without attaching to anything, and again mindful. Anissito anupadano sato. Sato means mindful. Anupadano means without clinging. Anissito means without associating anything. And paribbaje, you are continuing yourself. So likewise, the Buddha, that is the most matured way of maintaining ourselves. But it still may have defilements, of course. But again and again we have to recognize them. Again and again we have to see how habitually mind is going out, how it is grasping, and then and there we have to rescue the mind and coming back to ourselves. It's a long-term job. You may not get enlightened within a second. It's a long-term thing, Little by little. That's the point. Exactly. That's the point. So that's why, I mean, once you reflect back after 6 months, after 1 year, then you feel that the burden is less now. You are less burning. So you feel some kind of a comfort. Your mind is frequently associating some comfort zone. So that is something that we need to appreciate. If we are trying for a kind of something that I am floating and flying on the sky. So if these are the imaginations we have related to the meditation, then it's in a wrong path. Even Devadatta was flying, but now in the hell. Yeah.
When unnecessary things comes to our mind, we can just take it out. Like I feel like it's sort of a headache.
Yeah.
So I feel no, I mustn't think these things.
Exactly. So that's why, I mean, Buddha says now, more and more you are associating the good things, more and more the mind likes to be pure, then these defiled states become unbearable. So at the beginning we are like a very dirty cloth like. So even when some more dirt get added, we even can't notice it. So more and more we purify ourselves, now this little burden or even a little dirt appears like unbearable.
Yeah.
So that indicates the mind is becoming pure and pure. So that is something. I mean, even that is the state that Buddha has mentioned for a Sekapuggala also. So, I mean, typically for a Puthajjana, Buddha says, okay, you look at them as gross when mind has gone to a defiled state. So Buddha is telling, okay, you look at it as olarika, the gross. Or you look at them as sankata, is fabricated. Or you look at them as it is conditioned. It has dependently arisen. But for a Sekapuggala, for a trainee, he doesn't need to do all these things. Because he feels irritated when the mind has gone there. He feels ashamed. Again it's gone there. Something like that. He immediately feel that something wrong has gone now. Because he has experienced some kind of a purity and he likes to keep his mind very pure, but still mind going and attached to this bad thing. Then he feels ashamed of that. He used the term attiyati harayati jigucchati. Attiyati harayati jigucchati. So you feel shamed, you want to get rid of it, you want to drop it. Like that, the internal refusing happens. Rejection happens. So then dropping is immediate, very much like. Typically say when a defilement come to us, we like to enjoy sometimes.
It's happened to me, like I love to do shopping. So now it's not solving. I was telling you frankly, like when I go and continuously buy, I think, no, now enough.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I'm feeling why, like I feel like I did something wrong. It's not necessary to do it.
So I mean, more and more we, maintain that purity in ourselves, an unassociated state, anisita state, that's giving a lot of this kind of understanding, because we are observing ourselves. We see the different wrong patterns in ourselves, different habits we have, wrong habits we have, different drawbacks within ourselves. Then we can correct ourselves.
Sometimes now suddenly if we die,
yes.
Like can we remember? Like
can we remember?
At the moment when we are dying.
Yes.
Can we remember those?
So that's the thing. I mean, if till one becomes a Sotapanna, not yet, you can't say that the next life is completely protected. But still there is another middle stage mentioned in the commentaries. It's called Chula Sotapanna. When one is fairly confident about the cause and effect and well established on the cause and effect, not thinking that there's a I, me and all these things, that is called Dhammattiti Jnana. We are well established about the Parissampada level, not yet in Sotapanna. And then this state is called Chula Sotapanna. And there also it is said that the next life is fairly alright, but you don't know about the next life. Next life. You don't know.
Next birth, then we won't go to Apaya.
Yeah. Next birth, we are not going to the Apaya. But try to be a Sotapanna then. Then you are very sure you are never going to Apaya. So basically, I mean, these are things, but on the other hand, there's another sutta called Sotanuddhata Sutta. So where Buddha is giving a different idea, different explanation, and there he says, if one is very familiar with the suttas and he is constantly being with the Dhamma and recollecting Dhamma and trying to be practicing Dhamma and all these things, well attached with the Dhamma. And at that time, suppose that person dies. And then Buddha says he is born as a celestial being, and immediately he might recall how I got all this glory, why this celestial birth has happened to me. Then he recollect that I was associating Dhamma, and he again get the past memory like that. So again he will be back in the Dhamma. So that is one approach. Another approach is once you are reborn there, you couldn't remember, but there are many other devas available, and they come and tell you got all these opportunities because of your past merit, and they are recalling you. That's another way. And then another approach is there that none of them have happened, but sometimes may not be available like nowadays, but sometimes, I don't know, someone goes and preach them, either some monk with some the psychic powers, or a Brahma or someone coming and preaches this celestial realm. So at that time he also remembers, okay, I also was practicing this kind of thing, I also was reciting this Dhamma. So likewise he got the recall memories and all these things. So likewise in Sotanuddhata Sutta, so Buddha says who is practicing Dhamma is benefited once he is reborn in the celestial realm. So therefore we can't say therefore, I mean, it is that always you have to go for a Sotapanna to recollect what you did. But even if you are well established in Dhamma, not yet a Sotapanna, again if you reborn in a celestial realm, there are quite high possibility as per this sutta that you are well again established in Dhamma. Yeah.
Yes.